I've owned my ranch for over 15 years. A wide stretch of Texas land with rolling hills, a few barns, and a fence line so long it takes half a tank of gas just to patrol it. I worked hard for every acre of it, and it was my pride and peace. But then came HOA Karen, my newest neighbor, who decided property lines were just suggestions. It all started one morning when my foreman, Jesse, burst into my kitchen like he'd seen a ghost. "Boss, you're not gonna believe this," he said, waving his hat. "What now? Coyotes again?" I asked. "Worse. Karen's building a garage. On your side of the fence." I nearly dropped my coffee. "A garage?" "Yeah," he nodded. "And she's got contractors already pouring the foundation. Says she's got permission from the HOA. I grabbed my truck keys. Well, she didn't get permission from me. When I arrived, sure enough, there she was, wearing sunglasses, barking orders at 3 construction workers like she was directing a movie. Concrete trucks, lumber piles, blueprints on my land, my land. I parked, got out calmly, and said, "Karen, mind explaining why you're building a garage on my property?" She didn't even look up. "Oh, relax. It's just a few feet over the line. The HOA approved it." "Karen," I said slowly, "this isn't HOA property. This is my private ranch. See that red stake in the ground? That's the survey marker." She smirked. "That's wrong. My cousin's a surveyor. He said this area falls under HOA jurisdiction now. We're expanding." "Expanding?" I laughed. "You're not the Roman Empire. You can't just annex land because you want more parking space." "We'll see about that," she snapped. "You'll hear from our HOA lawyer." I smiled. "Oh, I'm counting on it." 2 weeks later, the garage was fully framed, roof going up, and Karen strutted around like she owned the place. But what she didn't know was that I'd already called a federal land surveyor and filed a boundary encroachment report with the county. Turns out, not only was she on my property, but her garage was sitting 15 feet past the legal HOA border. And worse, the foundation crossed into a designated wetland buffer zone, which meant federal environmental violation. So I waited. When the inspectors came, I made sure to be standing there, sipping iced tea, as they knocked on her door. "Mrs. Langford?" the lead inspector said. "We're here regarding your new structure." "Yes," Karen said proudly. "Beautiful, isn't it? All HOA approved." "Ma'am," he replied, "this garage is illegally built on private property and within a federally protected zone. You're facing potential civil penalties and restitution." Her face drained of color. That's impossible." The inspector held up his clipboard. "You'll also need to vacate and dismantle the structure immediately." That night, she came storming over to my ranch, waving papers. "You did this," she shouted. "You called the county." "Sure did," I said. "Next time you build something, try checking a map first." "This isn't over. I'll sue you." I grinned. "Karen, you built a garage on my land without permission. You can sue me if you want, but you'll lose and pay my legal fees." 2 months later, the case hit the county court. I didn't even have to say much. The evidence spoke for itself. The judge looked over the photos, maps, and inspection reports, then turned to Karen. "Mrs. Langford, this structure sits on Mr. Hayes's property. You will remove it within 30 days and compensate him for damages and land restoration costs." Karen tried to argue, but the judge interrupted. "The HOA has no authority over private ranch land. And since you falsified survey documents, you may also face fraud charges." Her lawyer whispered, "We should settle." 3 weeks later, bulldozers tore down the garage she'd spent $60,000 building. She had to pay fines, legal fees, and reimburse me for soil damage. And when the county dug into her survey paperwork, they found out her cousin had forged state certification to approve it. Both of them were hit with fraud investigations. But the cherry on top, the local paper ran the story under the headline, "HOA President Faces Fraud Charges After Building Garage on Neighbor's Ranch." I framed it in my office. Now, every time I walk past that flat patch of land, I can't help but grin. because instead of her illegal garage, it's now a flower garden with a wooden sign that reads, Karen's Folly, property of the ranch. And sometimes, when the wind's just right, I swear I can still hear her yelling, "This isn't fair," from across the pasture.